Happy Wednesday, everyone. We got a nice on the minute coming at you today. It's going to be a good time. Actually, I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's going to be a blast. So I hope you have fun with this one. Before we get to the on the minute stuff, what we have for you guys for warm up, we have three-parter today, some practice and some core work. We have a plank lean for 10 to 20 alternating reps, Dolphin position for 10 to 30 second hold, forearm plank for 20 to 30 second hold, back to Dolphin for another 10 to 30 seconds, and Sumo Squat for 5. 2 rounds of that, just to kind of get those shoulders, cores kind of heated up, get some internal heat going, and then we're going to move into some lower body loves. So we're going to get some dumbbell lateral jump over for 10 seconds, air squat for 3, jump squat for 3 to 5, plank to bear squat for 3 to 5, and then we're going to hit that for 2 rounds as well, just kind of firing things up for the lower half. And then our last piece is going to be a little practice for what's to come. We have a dumbbell thruster for 3 to 5 reps and some burpees for 3 to 5. If you are planning to skip, or in terms of cardio of choice, you can do that at the end of the burpees a little bit, just to kind of get that kind of coordination and kind of that movement kind of going a little bit. Besides that, if you're like, nope, I'm good, I don't need to practice skipping, my ankles are warmed up, I'm really ready to go. All right, just rock those 2 movements, get them kind of fired up, ready to go, before we move over to the work set. So the on the minute work set today is for 3 rounds, so it's going to be a total of 12 minutes long. Minute number 1, you're going to skip for 30 seconds. So you can work on double unders, you can work on skipping singles, whatever you want, hard skip. If you're not skipping, you can input cardio piece of choice, dumbbell lateral jump over. Got lots of stuff for you, so you can check the workout description, check it out, we'll have some fun. We're looking for 30 seconds of a hard, challenging effort, because then you're going to get 30 seconds of rest. In that next minute, you're going to hear beep, and then you're going to do 15 to 20 thrusters. So a light dumbbell thruster, you can do single arm, you can do double, depending on what you got access to at home. We'll talk about that as we get going. But you're going to hit 15 to 20 reps, and then whatever time remaining, you're going to rest. Then from there, you're going to do minute number 3, you're going to do 30 seconds of box jumps, or the equivalent of that box jump exercise, and I'll give you some options for you as well. You have 30 seconds, and then you're going to work on minute number 4, burpee, 8 to 15 reps, burpee or squat thrust, and then we'll repeat at the top of the minute. So what we have for you guys is a nice 30-second chunk, a little bit of work that might take longer than 30 seconds, so you might be pushing the rest a little bit, but know you'll always have at least 30 seconds of rest every second exercise. So that allows you to really push the numbers and really push the pace on those 2 exercises. That might take you closer to the top of the minute. Just keep in mind you will have 30 seconds of rest coming your way in between those exercises. Let's get you warmed up, ready for action. We'll have some fun on a good old Wednesday. All right, you guys, let's get you warmed up. Let's get those feet under those hips. We're going to take the arms big and tall. We're going to scratch our back, reach through the elbow. We'll come back up, big stretch. Scratch your back on the other side, reach through the elbow, big stretch. Nice overhead position. We'll take it all the way down to the floor. Nice forward fold. We'll walk up the shins. We'll take it all the way down. Frame the foot. We'll step it back into our lizard, and we're just going to take that inside hand all the way up. We're going to bend at that elbow. We're going to reach straight ahead and pull back. And then reach straight ahead and pull back. And reach straight ahead and pull back. Reach up. We'll take it all the way to the floor. And then we'll step back into our down dog, just setting up those shoulders a bit. And then come back into our plank. Step the other foot up. Nice and square in the hips. Inside hand's going to reach again. Coming down that 90, reach straight ahead. Pull back. Straight ahead. Pull back. And straight ahead. And pull back. Reach the arm. Take it all the way back down. We'll step back into our down dog. Setting up those hips. Opening up that upper back and shoulder. We'll come back into our plank and tiptoe those feet up. And we'll roll ourselves all the way up. Big and tall. Big reach. Big reach. Oh yeah. Come back down. We're going to get you guys ready to rock. If you'd like to do some more gentle warm-ups, some cat-cows, lizard with rotation, anything along those lines, please do so. We're going to move into the first phase of work, which is going to be a plank lean. So I'm going to face you guys for this one so you guys can see the active motion through the shoulders. I'm assuming my plank position, so my hands are underneath of my shoulders. I'm going to pull my ribs and hips in, press the shoulders to the sky. I'm going to engage and initiate this movement through through my upper body. So I'm staying square over my hands. So my shoulders stay up and over the hands, and we stay nice and active throughout the whole process. The big thing here is maintaining our plank position through this whole process as well. So as I get set up, if you watch my shoulders, I'm going to pull my ribs and hips in, my shoulders stay over my hands, I initiate through the shoulder, I initiate through the shoulder. So we want to make sure that that plane stays nice and steady back and forth. All right? Our next exercise drops us into our dolphin. Dolphin can be a challenging position. It's basically down dog, but on our forearms. So if you need to do a little adjusting through the legs, you can. So I'm going to get myself into my tabletop, and then I'm going to bring my forearms down to the floor. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull my hips up, softening my knees a little bit, and I'm pushing my armpits back towards my toes. So I'm working on getting that good position, that nice solid pressure back, and getting those shoulders nice and set. You're going to feel this quite a bit through the tricep and the lat. So I want you to think about that same shoulder engagement we work on for the down dog. All right, so that lat wrapping around the chest, kind of giving you a big hug. All right, that's what we want to think about when we're pressing into the floor and activating as we pull back into that position. So we have the shoulders doing the same movement as the down dog. We just have to make sure that we can maintain that off the forearms. A little different feel. You may feel a little more restricted, and that's okay. Just hold it for the amount of time that you can in that 10 to 30 second range. From there, we're going to continue on the forearms. We're going to come into our forearm plank. So I get myself set up, elbow underneath the shoulder. I'm going to get myself stepped and stepped. I'm going to pull my ribs and hips in, press through the shoulders up to the ceiling, and I'm going to hold this position, keeping it nice and tight. If this is too much, I'm going to lower my knees down, but maintain that good hollow position. So I'm pulling my ribs and hips in, pressing my shoulders up to the sky, and I'm holding that plank from my knees. Definitely not an easy substitution. Forearm planks are really tough because we're a little bit more compressed in our positioning. So make sure that we're paying attention to our engagement through the ribs, pressure through the shoulders, and we're not sinking in between the scapula. From there, we move back into our dolphin, so we get into that position from the forearms again. Please feel free to drop your knees and get yourself set up properly if you need to take a moment between your forearm plank to your dolphin. But after that, we're going to stand up nice and tall. We're going to get ourselves into our sumo stance. In this sumo stance, I'm going to take a couple good squats down, focusing on pressing my knees out just a little bit more. So as I pull my hips to my heels, my knees are going to get a little bit more focused on the out so that my knees track the toes. It's a much higher chance that if we don't push the knees out more, they're going to collapse inwards into sumo. So please focus on that and take the time to really feel that hip opening aspect of the sumo squat. So I'll do another one from the side. My hips go towards my heels, my knees go out, my chest stays as upright as I can in this squat position, and I'm going to feel that good sensation through that inner thigh and get that good opening sensation through the hips. 2 rounds of that. Quick recap. We have a plank lean for 10 to 20 alternating reps, dolphin for 10 to 30 seconds, forearm plank for 20 to 30 seconds, knees or toes, dolphin again for 10 to 30 seconds, and then sumo squat for 5. No tempo attached to that sumo squat, but if you'd like to add one in, please do so. It's warm up. It's a nice opportunity just to work on tempo and position. So if you want to, 3-1-3, 3-3-3, whatever you want to do, it's a nice smooth way to weight things up. 2 rounds, pause the video, take it down, come back to me when you're ready and warm. We're going to start moving around with that dumbbell and get those squats going. So our first exercise is a dumbbell lateral jump over. And if you plan on skipping in the workout, this is not a place to impart some skipping if you'd like, or some ankle pops. But what we have is that dumbbell with us anyway for our thrusters. So we're going to use it to jump over. So you can work on a 2-foot hop, you can work on a little skip, you can work on a little step, or you can work on a high knee step, so a little circular motion with the hip. Whatever works for you, you're going to take down 10 seconds. So it's not going to be too long, but it's going to be enough to get those ankles and those hips warmed up a little bit, get the heart rate jacked up, and then as soon as you're done your 10 seconds, set yourself up in your regular squat stance, and then work yourself into your air squat. So you're gonna get set up, hips go to heels, knees track to toes. We still have to push the knees out a little bit, but not as much as in our sumo. So toes are slightly out, those knees track to toes, good position, my weight's through my midfoot, and I stay nice and upright in my body position. Right from that air squat, I'm going to go into either a few more air squats or a jump squat variation. So the jump squat, 2 jump squat variations again, is a no jump squat. So I get a little bit more aggressive on the up and down. So I open up the hips and knees and pull me off my heels, and then I work on my deceleration. Or I actually leave the ground. So I jump, and then I land, decelerate into that good squat mechanics and the good spot of my squat. So I'm going to do 3 regular air squats into 3 to 5 jump squat variations to get those legs heated up just a bit more, a little more explosive, or just a few more reps to practice the air squat. All right? So you can work maybe the first air squats with a tempo, and then if you're doing regular air squats in place of the jump, maybe just work a little faster air squat so you can practice both worlds. After the jump squat, we move into our plank to bear squat. So I'm going to get myself set up in my good plank again. I'm going to set my shoulders nice and strong, pull my ribs and hips in. Feet are going to come to my squat stance, and I'm going to pull my hips back and down into my bear squat, and then I'm going to press into my plank. Setting that position, pull back into my bear, armpits pressing down towards the floor, pressing those hands into the ground, just like I would be in a down dog, but just actively pressing those arms in so I get that good stable shoulder as I'm venturing back into that low position. It's a little more stress on the arms than in the down dog, but it's a great time to activate and practice that core and shoulder stability. So play with that 3 to 5. They don't have to be fast. Take your time in both pieces just to make sure. Oh, got the big double yawns on that one. Sorry, you guys. Take your time on each halves of that movement just so you can make sure that everything's in place. Quick little recap for that little piece in between. We have a dumbbell lateral jump over for 10 seconds, or we have our skipping or ankle pop for 10 seconds, air squat for 3 to a jump squat variation for 3 to 5, plank to bear squat for 3 to 5 for 2 rounds, and then repeat. All right, take it down, have some fun, get those legs fired up. We're going to move into practicing a few movements that are in our workout today, and then turn you loose on the workout. So pause, hit that lower body warm-up set, come back to me, let's do some practice. So our practice today is going to be focused on the burpee and the thruster. So we're going to do 3 to 5 dumbbell thrusters. So I'm going to take my dumbbell, or 2, and I'm going to clean the dumbbell up to my shoulders, so it's in that good front rack. My feet are going to go into my squat stance. I'm going to execute a super good front squat, so pulling myself down, and then stand and press the dumbbell overhead, using the legs and the hips to do most of the work. The arm is in the good overhead position, so the bicep is in line or slightly behind the ear. And then as the dumbbell comes down to the shoulder, I'm going to absorb into the squat and stand and press. I'm just going to work on 3 to 5 aside, or 3 to 5 dumbbell thrusters if you're using 2 dumbbells. So we're just working on that skill, using the momentum of the squat to get the dumbbell pressing and overhead. So the arms don't do very much, but they do a lot to finish and support that overhead position. But use the legs to their fullest. The burpee now. The burpee, we have multiple variations. So I'm just going to get you guys going with the full burpee here. So I'm going to plant my hands, jump back, and come back up. So I lower as my feet go back. I hit that good bottom position for my plank, staying tight. I press out of that bottom and jump my feet in. My next phase is a step up, or a step back. So I step back. As my second foot comes back, I lower into that good push position. I can press to my knees and then jump. Or I can just press fully up and go from there. Or I can step and step and step and step. Remembering if we're doing full burpees, we're focusing on that tight midsection and that stacked elbow over wrist like we do in push-ups. It's just a little bit more dynamic. But still focus on that good tripod, that nice stacked position. It'll help that shoulder stay good and strong and stable. From there, what we have is the squat thrust, so the no push variation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down with my hands, that plank, jump into my squat stance, jump it up, or I can work on a jump back, step in, or I can work on a step back into the plank, jump in, or our last variation, step into the plank, step up, and then continue on. So with those squat thrusts, like the burpee, there's a few key points we want to focus on. We don't have to worry about the elbow being stacked over the wrist in that bent position, but we do have to focus on the hands being under the shoulder and that core being nice and tight. So we want to focus on that tight glute, tight midsection, so that when we pop our feet out or step our feet out, we're hitting that strong plank position every single time. If we feel a little sway back happening, take a break, take a moment, or work on the step back, jump in. The step back can help maintain a good plank position and allow you to maintain strong legs. Quick recap, we have a dumbbell thruster for 3 to 5 into a burpee practice for 3 to 5. Again, too, you can practice skipping or doing any extra thing that you need to practice in that work set, maybe a couple box jumps or steps, whatever it happens to be. Add that in, a couple rounds, hit that up, and then join me for the work set. So practice, hit it up, pause the video, and then come back and join me for our workout. So our workout today consists of an on the minute for 3 rounds. So the beeps are going to guide you through this work set. In this work set, we start off with minute number 1 with some skipping. All right, skipping, ankle pops, lateral dumbbell jump overs. I'll have lots of stuff there for you at the bottom in place for that workout description. Then you're going to rest for 30 seconds. Minute number 2, we just talked about the thruster. So if you need a little recap or refresh, pop back in the video and watch that dumbbell thruster. But we're going to hit 15 to 20 reps. So there's a fair amount of volume there. It might take you longer than 30 seconds. And if it does, that's okay because you're going to get a little bit more rest in the box jump round anyway. So hit those 15 to 20. If you're using a single dumbbell, pick a number, and then you're just going to half and half it per side in that minute. Minute number 3 is our box jump. So I have a box here, so we can practice that box jump. I'm going to stand close to my box. I'm going to throw my hips back a little bit like I was going to do a kettlebell swing. My knees are going to go out a bit, and as I explode, my knees stay out. So I jump, stand up tall, step down. Jump, stand tall, jump down. If I don't have an apparatus I'm comfortable jumping on or it's not stable enough, what I can work on also is a step. So fully extending my hips and knees at the top of the box. Or I can work on a lateral box step over. So I can work on that depending what I have access to at home. If you don't have access to anything at home that's stable enough to step or jump on, I'll have some more options at the bottom for you guys to play with in part and in place of that jump. So it'll be a nice equivalent to the jump. You're going to go 30 seconds for max reps, keeping them clean, keeping them strong and stable. You'll rest for the remaining minute, and then minute number 4, you're going to knock off 8 to 15 burpees or squat thrusts. So you're going to work on hitting that good solid burpee or squat thrust position, and then whatever time you have left over, it might take you most of the minute, and that's okay because again, minute number 1 is going to come back up, and you're going to have a guaranteed 30-second rest anyway, so it's okay if you're moving into that first minute with a little bit of fatigue. I hope you guys enjoyed this work set, you guys. It's a good time. It's going to get your heart rate up, your legs jacked up a little bit. It'll be a lot of fun with a little bit of working most of the minute, getting half of the minute off in the rest minutes. All right, but take advantage of this one. Work on some good skills. If you have any questions, please ask. But enjoy. Work for quality, everyone. Have a lot of fun, and we'll talk to you very soon. We got some big stuff coming up the rest of the week, so stay tuned and have a great day.